Hello my sweet friends and welcome back. We are here with our final TBR jar video of the year, obviously. We're in the final month of 2025. What a year. I cannot believe we're in December. I cannot believe we are ending out the year and we will be heading into 2026 so soon. But before we do that, obviously, we still have a whole month of reading. And December is a fun one because we have holiday reads. We might be trying to complete any sort of yearly challenges or goals that we may have set for ourselves. Maybe trying to complete our Goodreads reading goal. That's definitely something I'm trying to do still. So I feel like it's a really fun time of year. It's also the first month of summer here in Australia. So we finally can really dive into those summery reads without feeling FOMO, because I'm always reading summery books in the middle of our winter here because that's when a lot of the US ones get released, and it gives me the worst FOMO ever. So I'm excited to read summery books, sitting by the pool, sitting by the beach, basking in the sunshine. I just love summer and I love Christmas and I love the feeling of an end of year and the feeling of a new year. So I'm really excited. But if you've been keeping up with my recent videos, you probably already know that I have been really adamant on trying to complete as much of my physical TBR as I can by the end of the year. I feel like I sound like a broken record. I feel like I've said it so many times. If you're sick of hearing me say it, trust me, I am too. But we have 1 month to get this physical TBR down as much as possible. I would love to at least get down to one kind of shelf, I guess. We have like 1.5 kind of going on right now. So that means let's work on this. Let's also try not to buy any more books. And I already know I'll probably want to read some Kindle ones as well. So that's my goal for the last month of the year. But let's get into our prompts, because it's all well and good for me to have these ideas of what I want to do in my head, but the power is in this jar. You guys already know how it works. We're going to pick 6 prompts and therefore 6 books to go on our final TBR of the year. And let's start off with prompt number 1, which is young adult fantasy. Okay, is Wild Reverence technically? No, this is adult. I really want to read Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. It's on my end of year TBR. I just got my hands on the physical book very recently. It's so beautiful. I love the cover that we have here. And I know that this is part of the Divine Rivals like universe, but a prequel, I think, or it, you know, it's like set in the same world but follows different characters. I think we're actually following like the gods or like the higher powers, something like that in this world. I've heard incredible reviews, but I think I assumed because Divine Rivals I think is a young adult duology, I assumed this would also be young adult, but it says on the back that it's intended for an adult audience. So I assume that means it's not YA. We have Brandon Sanderson, The Well of Ascension. I also really want to get to that, but that's definitely adult high fantasy. We have dystopian, romance, fiction. Okay, we have literally 2 options here that are fantasy. I just don't know if they're YA, so let's have a look. We have The Ash Trials and Of Salt and Mist. I think these are both indie published fantasy books, but I don't know if they are YA. This one says The Ash Trials is a debut romantasy novel. That doesn't say anything about being YA. This one doesn't say literally anything. I need to go find my phone and maybe we can look these up on Goodreads and see what they're classified as. Okay, Of Salt and Mist is classified as... Okay, it just says fantasy. This is not looking good, guys. Oh, okay, wait. I just looked up The Ash Trials on Goodreads, and under the genre section it says fantasy, romantasy, romance, young adult. So I'm gonna go with this one. It has 124 ratings on Goodreads, so this is a bit of a new one. I'm excited to see what it's like. I believe this one may have been sent to me by the author a little while ago. In the isolated prison of Ashgard, where the kingdom's most dangerous criminals await judgment, one yearly event offers both salvation and destruction: The Ash Trials. Saffron Vale awakens in an Ashgard cell wearing a ruined wedding dress with no memory of who she is. As the only powerless human competing against murderous shifters and spellcasters, she must survive the 6 otherworldly trials that transform villains into legends, or she'll die trying. Her only allies, a childhood friend turned royal commander, and a mysterious assassin who claims she's the real monster in the prison. As competitors fall and ancient magic stirs, Saffron must uncover the truth. Was she truly an innocent bride or something something far more dangerous. It actually does sound really interesting. I'm very, very intrigued, and like I said, it has 124 ratings on Goodreads, so I really haven't seen anyone talk about this. I haven't heard any reviews, and so I'm going in completely blind, and that is honestly really exciting. So I guess we'll see what happens with this one. Moving on to prompt number 2, we have a book cover that matches your outfit. Okay, I'm wearing a like pink floral dress right now, so I guess we're just looking mostly for pink or white. This is like a very light pink. Okay, look, it's not like the perfect match, but it is pink. Like the background up here is pink. I don't know if we have anything that will be like better. Kind of, but not really. We're just gonna do the best we can. I feel like I need to go with one of these two. This has a really beautiful pink spine. The front has pink on it, but it is probably more red. This is called Ritual by Chloe Elizabeth Wilson, and I think this might be an Australian author. This one is a literary thriller with a taste of modern sci-fi and horror. That is crazy. Like, that's so many things in one. I did see one of my mutuals on TikTok recommend this and like say she really enjoyed it, so that does intrigue me. But then also a summer romance, like you can't go wrong. This one is about a chef and a library director, which just sounds really cute. Very different vibes. Which one matches my outfit more? Honestly, neither of them are doing a perfect job, but okay, well, which one do I want to read more? Maybe we'll go with summer reading purely because it's on my end of year TBR and I really want to complete that. And again, it's the first month of summer, so I need to read a summery romance, and I think that is the only like summer romance I have on my physical TBR, so gotta take the opportunity while we can. Moving on to prompt number 3. Okay, I'm not excited about this one. A book you've been putting off. Honestly, could be a few of these, but I feel like there's one that really sticks out to me that I need to get to, that I have not, and I've been meaning to for probably over a year, and that is The Will of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. I promise I do like actually want to read this. Like deep in my heart and soul, I do want to read this. I am looking forward to it because the first book in this series was a 5-star read for me, but this book intimidates the heck out of me. Not only is it just thick and long, but this is high fantasy. And honestly, I've read like a handful of Brandon Sanderson now. I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books by Brandon Sanderson. So you would think that I'm less intimidated by now, but I don't know. There's just something about Brando Sando that will always kind of scare me, I think. And I mentioned this in another video, but I'm just scared that I've forgotten a little bit from the first book, and going into the sequel of a high fantasy series when you've kind of forgotten. Well, I don't know if I have forgotten. It's just been a while. I want to think that I remembered it really well, and sometimes when I start like a sequel or something, it like comes back to me once I start reading and I'll be like, oh yeah, like I remember everything now. But I'm just a little bit worried because this book feels quite complex and there's just so many layers to it, but it might be fine. I don't know. I think this series is like technically a trilogy, but I think there's like Mistborn. What do they call it? Is it like the first saga versus second saga or something? There's like the first trilogy, and then I think there's like a second trilogy. Mistborn Saga 1, Mistborn Saga 2. I don't know if that's right, but I think there's like a whole bunch of other books. So I feel like even reading this won't even really put a dent in like this Mistborn. What is it called? The Cosmere? Is that correct? I am such a Brandon Sanderson noob. I love his work, but I get confused. It does sound really interesting, like reading the back of what this one is about. I am intrigued. I just want to see where Vin's story goes. I think I'm gonna choose this one. It's definitely a book that I've been putting off. Again, so my 25 books I want to read in 2025, and right now I have 3 books left on that list, and I am determined to finish that list by the end of this year. I finished it last year, so I want to finish it this year. So this is going on the TBR. Moving on to prompt number 4, we have free pick. This is the best. I have a few of these in here, and I feel like I so rarely actually choose this prompt, even though I technically have like the most. Like I have like maybe 4 or 5 of these. Well, I did at one point have 4 or 5 of these in here. Every time I pick out a prompt, I remove it from the jar. I don't put it back in, so that we're hopefully getting somewhat different prompts each time. Free pick. This feels important. This feels like there's a lot of weight to it. Okay, so we have my end of year TBR, which is a mix of my annual TBR, books that I just want to pick up by the end of the year, books that are on my physical TBR that I want to get to by the end of the year. And on that, I know apart from the ones that I have here, I also have Metal Slinger, which is on my 25 books I want to read in 2025, as well as my end of year TBR, and also also The Winners by Frederick Bachman. That's another one that is on my like end of year TBR because I really want to finish the Beartown trilogy before the end of the year. I don't have that book physically yet, but I was planning on getting it at some point or just reading it on my Kindle. So I feel like I kind of want to go for that maybe. Like if I have a free pick, like obviously I could pick anything here, but part of me is like I definitely want to get to The Winners by the end of the year, so maybe if I put it on my monthly TBR there's just a bit more motivation to get to it as well. And it's a bit of a longer one, and I already have The Well of Ascension, which is also very long, on my TBR, so I don't want to have like too many books that I want to get to and just like not get to them. But I also really want to get to Wild Reverence, and there might not be another chance for me to put that on my TBR with these prompts. Like it's just hard because you don't know which prompts you're going to get, so you want to pick wisely, because I make it so that I can't really like go back and change it after I've picked it. Do I want to go Wild Reverence or do I want to go The Winners? This is tough. I'm gonna go The Winners by Frederick Bachman because I really want to read that. If you saw my which video was it in, reading my physical TBR, that reading vlog like 2 weeks ago ish, I read Us Against You, which is the second book in that trilogy, and it hit me hard, but it was so good. Okay, I'm gonna lock that in. I obviously don't have a physical book, but I am going to read The Winners by Frederick Bachman. That is gonna happen this month. Moving on to prompt number 5, second to last. I can't believe we get through these so quickly. It always makes me so sad because I have so much fun, but I know that if I pick more than 6 prompts, it's getting unlikely. Okay, wait, this TBR jar is working in my favor today. This is probably the most perfect prompt I could have just gotten. The prompt is the newest book on your shelf. Guys, do you know what the newest book on my shelf is? Do you know what it is? It's Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. This is the newest book on my shelf. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. The amount of good reviews I've heard about this book is like insane. I feel like it's been like a 4.5 or a 5-star from everyone that I've seen, and I'm so desperate to read it. I loved Divine Rivals, and I feel like this is gonna be just as good. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. The newest book on your shelf like actually couldn't have gotten any better. I kind of feel like I'm cheating the system, but I'm not. But like imagine if I had ended up picking this for the last prompt, and then what is the other newest book on my, I think it probably would have been this one, which I got sent from the publisher, What Have They Done to Liza McLean, which I think is a YA murder mystery, which honestly does sound really good, and I really do want to read that one too. But Wild Reverence was definitely like, that's where my heart wanted to go. So oh my gosh, that feels so good and so exciting. I can't believe we just got that prompt. Okay, moving on to the last prompt for this video, for this month, and for 2025. Crazy. Prompt number 6 is a debut novel. I think there could be a few options on here. I want to have a look at Ritual. Ritual is her first novel. Okay, I kind of want to go with this. So like I mentioned before, this is a very like genre bending kind of book. It says it's a literary thriller with a taste of sci-fi and horror. I believe this is based on kind of a fictionalized version of Mecha Cosmetica. That is my guess. Allegedly, I don't want to get sued. I think that's like where the idea comes from because the author is Australian. And I think when I got sent this, the little like PR slip that came with it said something about maybe the author used to work at a very famous Australian like makeup cosmetics store, and there's not too many of those that exist. And even the fact that the place that this is based on is called Ritual Cosmetica, and I just have a feeling that means it's based on Mecha Cosmetica, because just like that makes sense in my brain. Again, allegedly, I could be making that up, I could be interpreting things wrong, but I believe that's what the idea comes from. But let's read the back. It says Marnie Selick is adrift when she lands a job at the coveted mysterious beauty brand Ritual Cosmetica. The enigmatic founder and CEO, Luna Peters, takes a liking to Marnie, and as the two grow closer, Marnie becomes intoxicated by the life that Luna and Ritual can offer her. But all is not what it seems at Ritual. Luna has a cult-like hold over all of the female staff, and that's not to mention what happens at their weekly Friday night drinks. As Marnie edges closer to the darkness, at the center of Ritual's millennial pink facade, cracks begin to show. Luna is hiding something, but will Marnie uncover the truth and the role Luna has cast her in before it's too late? It sounds interesting, I'm not gonna lie. The whole like culty idea of it sounds very fascinating to me. I do love a book that has like culty vibes. I think the idea of it is just, yeah, very interesting to me. I don't want it in real life, but I do want it in my books. Like, what did I read earlier this year? What was it called? Julie Chan is Dead. That had a similar culty like theme through it that was all about like a clique, or a culty kind of clique group of influencers. That was really interesting. Also like Bunny by Mona Awad, where it's like a cultish group of like college girls. Like, I always just find that as a theme in a book very interesting, so I'm very intrigued to see how it comes across in this one. And again, an Australian author, we love to see it, and potentially set in Australia, maybe, if I had to guess. Oh, here's what I was saying recently about the PR slip. It says, "Dear reader, welcome to Ritual Cosmetica. I wrote this book while working for an Australian cosmetics brand with a reputation of being a bit of a cult." Again, I could be like interpreting that wrong when I say I think it's about Mecca, but I don't know. And that is the last book for our December TBR. And if I finish all of those, then I will definitely be down to one shelf on my TBR cart, which means we could start 2026 with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books. 12 books on our physical TBR. That is insane. As a girl who used to have like, what, over 100 books at all times on my physical TBR, getting down to potentially maybe 12, that is crazy. But I would love to see that happen. So let's quickly run through the books that are on my TBR for December. Firstly, we have The Ash Trials, we have Summer Reading, we have The Well of Ascension, we also have The Winners by Frederick Bachman, we have Wild Reverence, and lastly we have Ritual. That makes me so excited, and just the idea of being able to like continue to work on my physical TBR gets me so excited as well. And I really do think I'll be able to do it, I think. But like I mentioned, I do still have an end of year TBR that I am also focusing on. So I'm going to try and balance this TBR with that TBR, and also maybe reading some holiday romances. I would really like to read at least 1 or 2 kind of festive reads, but we'll see what happens. But I hope you guys enjoyed picking out my December TBR with me. These are just always so much fun to film, and I'm glad you guys love watching them so much. But I would love to hear what is on your December TBR. Let me know. Is there a book that you're like, I need to finish this by the end of the year? And if there is, I want to hear about it. But I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.